My prominent eye queens, for this look, you're gonna want some matte shadow, your favorite mascara, and some of your best brushes. I'm Sam Young, and today I am showing you big-eyed beauties, how to play up your best feature. Before we jump in, I just want to say that I have had protruding and prominent eyes my entire life. I've been called bug-eyed back in middle school and high school even, and I really get where you're coming from. If you're watching this video to be able to conceal your protruding eyes, if you feel like you look bug-eyed or you feel like you have big under eye bags because of it or whatever, I get that, and I'm so excited to show you my makeup techniques and hacks that I use to be able to make my eyes look a little bit more balanced. However, please listen to me. Do not miss out on another second of appreciating the blessing you have been given. Protruding eyes allow you to have doughy, gorgeous, big, doll eyes whenever you want to. You can achieve that so easily with eyeshadow in ways that other people would have to be really high-end makeup artists to achieve. So as tempting as it is to look in the mirror and think, oh, my under eyes look really big because of my bulging eyes, don't do it. You are a big-eyed beauty and you deserve to see yourself as such. It is necessary that you understand that before hopping into this video. Okay, with that said, let's roll on in. I'm gonna be using the Honest Beauty Get It Together eyeshadow palette today for the entire look, just to kind of keep it simple and so I can really demonstrate what I'm talking about here when it comes to technique. However, before we get started, I need to tell you about something I've already done here, but I would really suggest. So when I go about playing up my big bug eyes, my prominent eyes, I like to make sure that I put concealer basically on the sides of the bridge of my nose. So this area right here for prominent eyes can appear a lot darker. That area also gets pretty blue for me. It gets a little veiny. It may not apply to you, but just take a look in the mirror, look at your face, and see if you don't see quite a bit of shadow here as well. And just make sure that you kind of even that out while you're applying concealer underneath your eyes. That's just going to help you get that much closer to the target look that we're going for. Okay, so next, we need to go over what you were taught in most beginner beauty guru tutorials. So usually we would go into a shade like this, like the white shade, all over the lid, and then we might go into a matte shade like this brown here, or this pink over here, into the crease, and use the highlight shades, the glittery shades in the corner or on the center of the lid, and use the darker shades in the palette on the outside, right? That's just kind of the one-size-fits-all technique for eyeshadow, which I really love doing. I am not knocking that technique. But today we are talking about a special group of people, including you and me, that have prominent and protruding eyes, okay? So this is a look just for us, and we are actually going to start with darker colors. So color theory and shade theory suggests that light colors attract light and are brought forward on the face, and dark colors are pushed back or recede into the background of any look that you're going for. So what do we do with protruding eyes that are set a little bit further forward on the face? We want to use darker colors to help them kind of seem like they're just set back a little bit. That does not mean that you have to do a super dark smoky eye all the time, and believe me, I know that it's a fine line, because for me, as someone with protruding eyes, I also get pretty prominent bags underneath my eyes, or at least it seems that way, or it looks that way to people because my eyes are pushed forward and you can literally see my eyeball a little bit more. So what I'm going to do today is, instead of going into the white shade all over the lid first, I'm going to choose what I would normally do as a crease shade if we were following that standard beauty technique, eyeshadow technique. And I'm going to go into either this or this. If you were using this palette, those are the two that I would suggest. But for today, I'm going to go into this mauve pink tone and put it all over the lid. Okay, so that mauve tone is all blended out, and as you can see, I kind of take it a little higher than my natural crease, just because since I have big protruding eyes, sometimes it's fun to play it up and really make yourself look doll-like, really make your eye look big. However, I do want to acknowledge that there are kind of two kinds of protruding eyes. Some people have a lot of real estate on their eyelids, like I do, and some people can have protruding eyes and have pretty small real estate. So if you have little real estate on your lids, this is something you definitely want to do. But if you have a lot of real estate, there's no harm in making your eyes look bigger. So overall, this is something I really recommend doing when you have protruding eyes, because it just makes the eyes look dough-like, and I don't know, think Zooey Deschanel. So next I'm going to go into the crease and I'm going to go in with this shade here. I'm choosing this shade because I personally don't want to go too dark for this look, just because I want to show you guys that you don't have to go super dark to be able to achieve a muted, pushed back dimension in the lid, but it is important to have a shade that is different enough from the shade that you put all over your lid. So I think that this brown is perfect for that, and I'm going to go into the crease. Now that the crease is done, I'm going to go into the outside of the lid, just the outside corner, into this really deep chocolatey brown shade. And for this specifically, I don't go up into the crease with this shade. I like to put it right here and then blend it basically halfway in to the center of the eye. So that dark chocolate shade is on the outer portion of both eyes, and the importance of this step is that it brings dimension horizontally. So we're really trying to create an illusion that distracts from the dimension that is forward and back, or three-dimensional. So what we want to do is, with the crease, like I mentioned, I go up a little bit to make the eye seem a little bit bigger that way, but I also take this darker shade, as you just saw, I placed it further out from the actual corner of my eye because I want to be able to elongate my eye in that way too. So altogether, by kind of playing into the different dimensions that you can create with makeup, and by using matte shades, as I mentioned earlier, you're making sure that you're creating shadow in areas that really makes the shadow that you normally would have in a prominent or protruding eye seem a little bit more normal, or at least balanced. Okay, so the last step here is to go into this white shade, and again, I would use a matte shade for this, but you don't have to when it comes to the inner corner. And we are just going to put this on the inner corner. And again, you're truly focusing this on the inner corner. So make sure that you don't bring it up onto the lid too much, because we don't want to go over that darker mauve shade that we used. Okay, so final step of the actual eyeshadow portion of this is going underneath on the lower lash line. So for me, I feared this step for years and years and years because I thought that it just made me look like I had deeper bags or something like that. But you have to know how to do it, and honestly, it helps make the eye look like the shadow that you naturally have under your eye is supposed to be there, like you placed it there. So I'm going to use the darker shade that I had for the outer corner, just on the outer third, and then I'm going to take that mauve shade. I'm not even going to bother with the brown shade that I used in the crease, and I'm just going to take that mauve shade into basically the middle third and leave the inner third white. So the final two steps of this eye look are eyeliner and mascara. Mascara, you can really use whatever your preference is, and I'll show you which one I'm going to use today if you want to try it out. But for eyeliner, really the two things that I want you to focus on are, if you have small, protruding, or prominent eyes, you don't have a lot of real estate on your eyelids, then you probably want to go with a thinner eyeliner. I understand that a thick liner can be really, really attractive sometimes, and I do think that can look good on small protruding eyes. But if you are trying to play into the purpose of this look and trying to make your eyes look balanced and a little bit more pushed back into your head, then I would really recommend doing something that kind of fits your natural eye shape. So going with something really big may just end up emphasizing the shadows and darkness underneath your eye. And if you do have a lot of real estate on your eyelids, then you can go with the thicker eyeliner. With a look like this, I really think that the eyeshadow for both small and large protruding eyes should be the focus. You want to draw attention to the shadow that you've created in all aspects of the eye, outer and inner corners, the crease, the lid, all of that. You want to bring attention to that more so than the liner itself. The liner is really just there to emphasize your mascara and make your lashes look big and luscious. So for me personally, for a look like this, I like to just kind of smudge a black or brown liner into the upper lash line and kind of call it quits on liner. Do the thing that makes you feel really good about yourself, but that's just my recommendation. For eyeliner today, I'm going to take this slanted pencil from Eco Tools and I'm going to dip into that black shade from the Honest Beauty palette. Alright, so I went really light on the eyeliner, but as you can tell, I really focused it on the outer third at the top of the eye. So finally, I'm going to go into my Honest Beauty mascara to kind of match the palette today. This does have a primer that I really like to use, but really, you don't have to use this mascara. You can use whatever mascara works for you, whatever is your favorite and makes your eyelashes look amazing. Alright guys, so mascara is on. This is what we are looking like from afar. This is what we've got going on. So just to cover the tips that I mentioned in this video again, so you have it all down. 1, you want to make sure that you are using matte colors. 2, you want to use slightly darker colors than you probably have been using. 3, you want to play with vertical and horizontal dimension with the eyeshadow to kind of offset and balance that 3D dimension you already have going on in your big, beautiful eyes. And 4, although it is a really common to try to skip the bottom lash line, put no liner or no mascara, anything like that there, don't do it. Make sure that you put a little bit of color there. It balances the eye and looks like it was intentional. And that is it for this protruding prominent eye look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.